I'm just gonna go in, be a tuner here for a second, type 30.
Hey everyone, Adam here today. I'm going to be showing you how to check and make sure your aux fuel system's working on your vehicle. In this case, it's on the Fiesta ST, but this also works if you have a Focus ST. So we have our Incognito aux fuel controller here, nice tucked down there. And then we have our single port injector hooked up there. I took the car apart just to reroute some lines, get my ethanol content sensor hooked up. So after taking everything apart, I just want to make sure it works correctly and my aux fuel is actually working, so when I do a pull, it doesn't go super lean. In the vehicle, first thing you want to do is get hooked up to your Microsquirt controller. So I'm just going to turn on the accessory, that wonderful Ford doo-doo-doo. You're going to need your access port as well. I'm already connected, so I can see I'm connected here. You're going to go into fuel settings, the VE table, and then your VE table looks something like this, all these pretty numbers. This is what you see online everywhere, the typical tuner table, whatever. So we're going to go into our VE table after we start the car. Car is running, and you can see, here's where we are in our RPM. You can see that little blue bubble there, that's where we are. So when I rev the car up, it's gonna move back and forth all over that table, right? So now my anxiety port's still loading up here. One thing you want to bring up is short-term fuel trim, STFT. That is by far the most important thing to bring up during this whole thing. So see how it's bouncing back and forth? I'm not actually at 2000 RPM. These Ecoboosts are just a little quirky. So if I rev up, now I'm at a steady RPM. So there's 2000. I'm just gonna go in, be a tuner here for a second, type 30. Into these columns. So when I hit 3000 RPM, it will turn my injector on. You can see short-term fuel trim here is about 5. The most is 8.5 and least is 3.91. So all I'm gonna do is rev up to 3000 and you're gonna watch that short-term fuel trim go negative. See how it went up to like negative 25? That means my injector is working. So I'm gonna get rid of all these. Burn. Oh yeah, every time you make a change, hit the burn button, and then that will actually make the change to the controller. So now, when I rev up, my short-term fuel trim stayed relatively nice. It was like 8, right, from what I remember. So that's how you check and make sure that your aux injectors are working. This is the way to do it with a single port. With a 4-port system, you're definitely only gonna wanna have one injector plugged in because you're gonna dump a lot of fuel and the car is just gonna be kind of unhappy with it. It's super important to check all this before you go out and do a pull after you're taking the car apart, because you will mess some stuff up if you don't make sure your aux fuel system is working. One final note, we are running just straight pump E85 in this car. I don't know if you saw that, but if you go over to our ethanol percentage, sitting around a 68% ethanol from our Meyer gas station down the road. Not the best, but it is still cold here. We're in winter fuel still, so we'll see that go up as summer comes by.
But yeah, running straight pump E85 in this thing. Now, how do you run straight E85, you may ask? With our aux fuel system, we can run straight pump E85 because we do have that extra fuel required since we're on a stock DI system, meaning we're on the stock high pressure fuel pump and we're on the stock injectors. I don't have any upgrades done to those injectors whatsoever. It's kind of cool just rolling up to the pump, grabbing the yellow handle and putting in E85. The gas is pretty expensive right now, so it's a great way to save. I'm saving about $1.25 a day on my commute just by running E85 over 93. I also don't have to mix fuels, which is super cool. With a Microsquirt, we can hook in this ethanol percentage, and eventually we're going to be able to run a flex fuel tune because, as you can see down here in this corner, flex advanced, we can advance or retard the timing based on what the ethanol content sensor is. So it's going to take a calculation based on ethanol content, and we're going to change different parameters in the tune, almost like having different map slots. But the computer is going to do everything for you already. So map slot 1 will be 0 to E30, map slot 2 will be E30 to E50, and map slot 3 in the Microsquirt will be E50 and up. That way you can just roll up, mix whatever you want, pull up the computer. Eventually we'll have a small little digital dash and see exactly what ethanol content you have and which map slot you're running. All right, I think that's actually it for today, all I have. So thank you for watching again, and I'll see you in the next video.
I got no